Hello Deswik users, today we're going to be talking about the translate and the offset commands. These tools will let you take a line and offset it at a certain distance or a certain direction, and you can do multiple ones. This should speed up your design process to use these tools. Let's jump right in. Okay, so here in Deswik CAD, I have a line that represents a ramp or a drift, and then over here I have two guides that I built. They're lines, and these lines are 100 meters long, and they have a node every 5 meters. So if you measure from here to here, the distance is 5 meters, and there's no gradient. This line does have a gradient right here. So we are going to do the offset command first. To find the offset command, it's in modify offset. And I use the offset quite a bit. So down here, it says select the entities to offset. I'm going to select our ramp, select the distance. I'm going to change this to 5 and hit OK. And then down here it says select a point to indicate the direction to offset. So you can either offset it on this side or this side. So I'm going to just pick over here, and you can see that it offset 5 meters. So if you look at this, the offset doesn't necessarily move it. It's a little different than moving or translating. It doesn't offset, and it changes these a little bit. So if you look at these points, it didn't necessarily move the line, it offset the line. And you'll be able to see the difference here when we do the translate command. So let's do that. It's in modify translate right below offset. This window pops up right here, and I don't have anything selected, so I'm going to go ahead and select this one, and now it says selected entities is 1. You can click on that. The distance, so you can either put in your distance and your azimuth and your dip right here, or you can just come down here to this delta and do this pick button right here. I like this, so I'm just going to pick this, select starting point right here. So I'm going to pick this point, and then it says select second point. I'm going to pick this point right here, and then it automatically populates this. You'll see that this changed to 5, the azimuth is 220, and there's 0 dip, and it gives your X and Y. And also down here you can pick how many copies you want, and if you want apply an attribute. So right now we'll do this translate. We'll create a new attribute called translate, and then the base value will be 0, and we'll increment it by 1. So you could, a lot of times I like to put in like 100, and that'll be the first one, and then it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 5 of these. And if you wanted to delete the original, you check that box. What that means is it would delete this one after it made the 5. But I want to keep the original, so I'm going to leave this unchecked. You hit translate, and you'll see when we translated this, it just moved it that direction. So this one right here was our offset. I'm going to change the color right here to a red. So you'll see the difference between the offset and the translate. If there's any sort of turns or corners or angles, it's going to be a little bit different than the translate. So make sure you don't offset something when you mean to translate it. If I'm doing like crosscut and I want to crosscut every 50 meters, I would definitely use the translate command for that. Yeah, so there is the difference. I'm going to try one more thing with this translate. We're going to try one other thing just to see how this works. I'm going to change these to a green. So the green was our translate, the red was our offset. And this window's still open, so I'm gonna do another one. Select that. I'm gonna pick from this point to this point. And I just wanna see, you can see it updated our azimuth, it updated our X and Y distances, and we're just gonna do one here. Well, let's do two. And then you hit translate, and you can see even that that red one, it lined up nicely with this first section, but then over here you can see the red came over here and the blue's over there. So just keep in mind that that offset is different than the translate. So I'm going to delete those two. And the other thing is that attribute that we put on there called translate. You can see that first one is 101, the second one's 102, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking right here, 105. So it does apply that attribute. So if you had a panel number or something, you needed to name it and increment it 1 every time, you can use this translate command. I hope that helped, and I hope that speeds up your design process. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new in Deswik today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. If there's something in particular that you want to see on the next video, please comment down below. Thanks.